Welcome again, everyone. It is Inside the PFL, Season 7, Week 7 at the old Double 7. I am your champion, El Zubador, Joe, joined, as I am ever, back in the saddle after picking out wedding photos last week. It's Manny.
Hey-ho! Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, Joe.
You gotta do, no, I understand completely, and, James did well filling in for you here, but, it's back to the dynamic duo that we got going on here, and...
The old one, too,
The old one, too, and let me get your thoughts on Week 7 here, because it was a pretty, as far as Conference Cup weeks go, there weren't any blowouts, which was nice, but there was a lot of interesting stuff that happened.
Yeah, I'm just one sad panda this week. I mean, outside of that, though, I thought that was some good games going on. I enjoyed your match with James. You got rocked by Endeavor, but we'll get into that. That was hilarious.
Let's dive right into that, actually. So, that's my big takeaway from that one here. James over Joe, +1. The very first thing that I wrote note-wise was Endeavor is a thing. So we've seen it happen, 5 times already in James's matches where he puts the sash on something. Sometimes it's Gorgeist. I think he's done it with Lycanroc before. First turn, you make a big play. I should have seen it coming, probably. When he was down to 1 HP, I got Tyranitar out of there because I think I was talking to Mario and Mike as it was going on, and somebody said reversal, and I was like, whoop, let me get the fuck out of here with T-Tar. I think it was the best possible scenario I could have gotten, other than just killing Lycanroc right there, which was switching in Feeny and getting the 50% berry off. So it wasn't a complete loss, but he did get to use it twice. So I would have lost nothing just hitting him with Earthquake there with T-Tar, because T-Tar was the one who ate the second Endeavor.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you played it pretty well, but I want to say that Endeavor build is the common build on Lycanroc, but I could be wrong from my laddering experience. I do remember that being a thing for a little bit, but I don't know if it went out of favor. But as soon as he dropped the sash, I was like, oh no.
It's very interesting because it worked out incredibly well for him due to the fact that Sand is up, and Lycanroc being a rock type and everything doesn't have to deal with sand damage. It gets Excel Rock. It's a better version of the popular Endeavor Rattata,
Yes, it's the more competitive Rattata is what it is. The old quick attack. But that sand not affecting it was really just like kind of took the wind out of my sails there. I was like, wait, but T-Tar said the sand, he's dead, and I was like, oh wait, no, he's not. No, he's not. I always forget about that.
No, if only. That would have been nice. That would have been a nice way to get around it. But, James prepares for this stuff. And there were a lot of things that he pulled out there that, there were some other tricks in the book. He did hit 2 explosions in the match. And that's also, so Manny, let me lay this on you here. The fact that all James really he needed to set up Gardevoir to win the match, which is exactly what happened, because Gorgeist exploded, Silvally exploded after doing not really that much. Silvally being Silvally Dragon was actually a good play by him, because it made it so... Because I was looking at the calcs, Leaf Storm did a lot from Mega Sceptile to a lot of his Pokemon, and just having the resist there with Silvally Dragon was a really interesting choice, and it scares out Sceptile too. So, but yeah, Volcanion ate an explosion, Golbat ate an explosion, and it came down to me trying to hit Triple Protect, which I believe I looked at the numbers on this. The first Protect is 100%, of course. The second Protect is 33%, so not impossible. And then the last one is 11%. So if I hit that, I would have been an absolute fucking legend.
Is it 11% really? I just thought it would fail on the third one. I thought it was only max at 2, but
I thought from the way that I was looking at it, because it was tough for me to find what exactly it was. Because at one point it was 100%, then 50%, then 25%, and it capped at 12.5%. And in Gen 2, there was always a 12.5% chance of Protect really? Going off. Yeah, but I thought that it was after... I thought that it was, it's resisted, or not resisted, what the fuck, it's divided by 3 every time. So, 133.3, repeating, of course, and then 11, so would have been nice.
I can take your word for it, but I don't know, man. The triple protect play, that was ballsy.
I had nothing else, I couldn't do anything.
Right?
He,
Oh boy.
he got me there because for some reason in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'm going to hit Gardevoir with a Leaf Storm when it comes in, and then I'm going to hit Leaf Blade because it's dead, and I didn't expect it. At no point was I like, it might have a Scarf, and that would be a problem.
No bulk investment, Joe? Come on.
That bulky Mega Sceptile, it's coming back.
Seriously, man. Come on, you gotta prep for this shit.
Moving on, we got Mike over Tristan +2. I think that RNG might be cursing Tristan this season.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. He just, whatever god he offended, he just needs to sacrifice something. I don't know if he needs to go higher than a goat, like if he needs to actually kill somebody, but he needs to get in favor with the gods again.
He got some of the worst sleep talk rolls I've seen, where I believe he did it, I'm going to say 4 or 5 times, and 80% of the time it was rest, and that's not good.
Yeah, it was garbage. Garbage. I was really shocked.
This is the same man who got double frozen very recently here, and here he is out here. Because Snorlax, Mike was playing a really deadly game at one point where he hits 2 CCs, and Arcanine's out here with half defense up against a Snorlax who I believe is at like 1.5 or 2 times attack, and all he needed to do was get the facade.
One.
Yeah.
Just one.
Facade.
Arcanine would have just been like Venom says, a turd in the wind.
Because that's the thing, Mike was confident for all of that, and I'm yelling at him like, what are you doing? And he pulled it out. I guess it's, still...
He was just playing on the ballsy side, like sometimes you got to do that if you want to win.
You gotta. That's true. And I think that might have been to the detriment of Tristan not playing quite as aggressively, because I know you were saying, you were yelling at me after the match that what he built with Hoopa Unbound was just, you were flabbergasted by it. He,
like, come on, just use the punching move. Hoopa has like 6 arms, dude. Like, I don't know. I would have liked to see Hoopa a little more in the match. I felt like he was just holding on to it for whatever reason, but like, Hoopa's there to dent some walls. Like, he has a ridiculous attack and special attack stat, and his dark move is a higher base damage, but I mean,
Fury.
like, had he used it earlier in the game, like, he might have been able to dent some holes a little bit faster.
And save the Z move, you were saying too, because he, I mean, I feel bad because Hoopa Unbound, a great wall breaker, uses a Z move to defeat 40-point Miltank.
Hey man, Miltank is just like, he's the real. All right, there's a reason why we all got like super upset facing Whitney in Gen 2.
That damn Miltank. Why isn't anybody running the Whitney Miltank set? Which I think it was milk drink and rollout, I think.
Yeah, milk drink rollout.
Stop.
Yeah, we gotta move Miltank up. Miltank's gotta be 60 from now on.
It can do a lot of stuff.
It's too good for 40 points.
Are we moving Tauros back down then?
No, Tauros is safe. Tauros just didn't fit with my team. Tauros is really good. I liked the calcs on him. I had too many mons that did the same thing.
The Mega Houndoom principle. Understandable. One other thing I want to talk about in this match here, I think that Mike did get a lot of surprises off too, because we talk about coverage a lot, and it's something that you always got to kind of keep in the back of your mind, but you're like, how are you really going to expect Cresselia to run Energy Ball to get ahead of Swampert? And that's what happened. Are you going to expect... I think Signal Beam on Raikou is more something that Tristan probably should have thought about, but yeah, Signal Beam doing like 80% to Hoopa was just not a good time.
The Signal Beam, that's like, Raikou has like what, 6 moves?
Like 3 other moves. If it's
different moves that are electric.
If it's not Signal Beam, it's either going to be Extra Sensory or HP Ice.
Exactly. Like there's only he's very standard, but like Cress has so much coverage. So like if you die to Energy Ball Cress, like that's good on Mike.
Let's move on here to Manny. Something's going on with the matches that Gage has, where there's just so much interesting shit that happens in the matches. Gage over Mitch +2 here. First of all, let's talk about the other stuff with Gage later. I was the most angry, I'd say, with the result of this match, where Mitch threw the game away.
Yeah, man. Like, he had it and we were just waiting for the priority to come out, and it just never did.
Now there were two or three games this week, 3 or 4 maybe, because mine might count, where if like one move is played differently, the entire thing changes. But this is the most obvious. We're right at the end, victory within your clutches in the last 2 moves. And I'm talking to him afterward. I'm like, why didn't you hit Shadow Sneak? And like, oh no, it wouldn't have killed. No, it would have. The calcs were there. Shadow Sneak did like 30% minimum to Thundo, and then it would have wrecked Alakazam. And that was it. And it was it.
Like even if you thought the calcs weren't there,
do it anyway.
Like what else is your grand scheme there? Like do it anyway, because like why not? Like I remember, was it last season, 2 seasons ago? I don't remember what it was, but it was when I had Ape, and I had Banded Ape, and I was in the depths of despair against Dave.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I threw my Banded Ape out there, and I just slammed a Mach Punch, and I ended up killing like 3 or 4 mons with a Mach Punch, and I won the game.
No, you were down like 3-1, and it was the rain was out, and it was like Politoed and something else, and I was like, man, he's fucked, it's over. And then you're just going out hitting Mach Punches, and you pull out the victory. Priority is absurdly important.
Super important. You gotta always prep for it, and it kind of bit me in the butt in my game too.
I want to talk about as well, I saw a lot of myself playing Gen 4 in this match where presumably, you see Thundurus is out. And then Alomomola comes in on Thundurus. And it's like, why are you here? So he immediately switches out and gets the Motor Drive with Electivire.
But like, come on, dude. Like, it's just a bait and switch, man. Like, he just dangled this little fish in the hook, and he was like, look at me, I'm gonna die. And then he's just, oh, you're gonna have to do better than that. Like, come on, man. Like, you had to know he's switching out of that.
You know what makes me mad? Because I looked into this afterward, too. So, Mega Alakazam comes in at one point, and Trace's Motor Drive, which is also great, which also led to possibly the scariest thing, and even faster Mega Alakazam. But if he just hit, like, Earthquake, or Cross Chop, or whatever, Alakazam's dead, and Mitch
any other move
probably could have won with Electivire right there, because, like, Toxapex isn't going to want to take the Earthquake from Electivire. It was a bit sad that Trace, for some reason, Trace always seems to get people. And we saw Trace Regenerator in the match, too, that tried and true method, which was great. But I'm really surprised that you see Trace, you see Motor Drive, and he goes with Wild Charge anyway, and I'm just like, oh, Mitch, what's wrong with you?
No, and then Alakazam, just one speedy boy with all of his spoons. Lights out.
The big spoonin'. And I thought it was, well, there were several points where I was just like, this is over. This is done. That was one of them. The initial Motor Drive was one. Alakazam getting Motor Drived was another. I really liked the use of Mold Breaker in this match, too, because I was unaware. You learn something new every week. Mold Breaker gets you through Disguise on Mimikyu. It's too bad Holochick couldn't do a bit more there. I'm wondering if, like, an Acrobatics would have been better, because I think Ghost Fairy Poison Jab is neutral on Mimikyu, because Ghost resists poison, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So if he just went for, like, a normal...
stab.
Yeah, if you just go with Acrobatics there, you might have been able to get rid of Mimikyu.
Mm-hmm. And Mold Breaker stops all, like Earthquake on the Rotoms, like, things like that. So,
but it's just one of those things where when it happens, you're like, whoa, what was that? And then you realize, oh shit, Mold Breaker. Which,
yeah, he broke the mold.
He did.
It says it in a little text that when he comes up.
We got 2 of those plays this week. So some other shit happens. Mimikyu gets wished, which was also good. I like that a lot. I thought once Latios was gone, because Latios might be cursed, because I don't know, maybe it's just Mitch and Trevor, but like Latios is not getting the due that he needs, really. And once it was gone, there was like, I thought he had nothing for Toxapex.
Yeah, I think Trevor put some voodoo on it. I don't know what happened.
But then we say he might be cursed. Mitch hits 3 hurricanes in a row,
which is baffling. Like, I was like, how did he get what is this? How is he getting so lucky? Like, come on now. Like, that's not fair.
This is a move I missed 6 times in a row in a random battle once.
So dumb. So dumb. But it's not dumb. It's a new thing on the OU ladder. People are running defog uh, tornadoes,
That works. That's
and
great because yeah, then
they're
Hurricane
using
gets.
defog. Yes, they're using defog to lower their opponent's evasion, which essentially makes Hurricane like a 95% accurate move. So
if it
heads up,
if it
Mitch,
if it
defog
works,
on
it works.
Moltres, man. So
Overall, there was a lot of crazy shit that happened in there, and I gotta hand it to Gage for keeping the composure and also really because Mitch told me he got really tilted when he hit Z Psychic on
oh
Toxapex and
yes,
while Baneful Bunker was up. So
no good. It did like what? It did like 17% or some shit.
not a lot. It was
Yeah.
bad, but that was definitely really good for that was good for Platinum too because when me and James were talking last week, he thought that basically everybody in Platinum other than Sneaky was going to lose, and then almost the opposite happened. So
Yeah. Hey man, it's like what Herm Edwards says, that's why we play the
that's why we
games.
play the games.
You know?
Next up, we got Garrison getting the +3 over Rob. Man, Alolan Muck.
The work.
Alolan Muck is a bulky boy.
Yeah.
That assault vest set on Alolan Muck always amazes me because I think it was Chandelure did 20% with a Fire Blast. Fucking 140 base special attack Chandelure. 20% on a Fire Blast?
Dude, Muck is he's just a trash can. He eats all of the damage. He just like he's stupid. Like Alolan Muck is probably one of the best Alolans to ever come out. And like all of his sets, like Gluttony Figgy and AV, and he's just dumb.
I mean, I'd agree with that too. And the other fun thing in this match, it was a pretty standard match. It's unfortunate that Rob didn't end up getting a win or anything again here, but we're slowly making our way toward the end of the season with that. I do like we did get to see a proper Memento play this time that scared out I forget who it was exactly, but it was somebody that would have caused some problems. And it was after Doug Trio did a lot of work too, because even burned, he managed to kill a Lola Ninetales.
What was Vale up too?
I believe Vale was gone that turn, but it was
Oh, okay.
no, I'm sorry, it was through Vale as well. So it did like 40.
That's impressive.
Yeah, those. I mean, Alolan Ninetales is kind of papery, and it's got a 4x weakness. So Garrison got a good win there. Which it's looking at yellow. The standings are really weird because I'm gonna be. I mean, like I believe somebody else from yellow is probably gonna get out. I don't think that Crystal is competitive enough that they're going to get ahead of like the second best person in yellow, but it's weird because I feel like Tristan and Garrison have had really weird seasons so far, and it's going to be tough to see either one of them getting into a playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean Tristan barely snuck in last year, and look what happened. So
Well, that's true.
you just got to make it to the dance.
That's true. That's also true. All you need is you got to punch your ticket and you're in. Next up, we got this is where it is. You want to take us through this one, Manny? Kyle over Manny +2. Let's hear it.
I mean, not particularly, but I'll do it if you want me to. At the end of the game, I had Gyarados at full versus Gastrodon. And I had two plays. I had a somewhat good roll on Z Bounce. Like I had a good chance of the roll on Z Bounce. Or I could Dragon Dance and then Z Bounce, guaranteeing the kill.
Mhm.
And in hindsight, I should have clicked Dragon Dance. But because then I would have been faster than Sneasel, and then Ice Shard wouldn't have killed me for 50, and then I would have had Laddie in the back pocket, and then I'd be able to kill Bennett too. But I wanted to be I had spec'd my Gyarados to be to 1v1 Weavile, and I needed him at full, so I decided to risk the roll to get to 100% health, and it bit me right in the butt. So
Yeah.
there you have it.
Well, I mean, that's just the rolls sometimes. What was it? Was it like a 7? Was it a good roll or was it like a 30% chance?
To kill?
Yeah.
No, it was up there. It was over 50.
Okay.
So it was like Gastron had like what was it, like 69 or something like that, and my rolls were like
You were saying it was like
was it like
64 to 70.
71?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 64 to like the low 70s. So it was a pretty solid roll. It was not. It was in my favor, but 2% is 2%. So, and then I should have just, in hindsight, I should have just Dragon Danced, but whatever. It happens.
I feel like after you dance, though, Banette comes in instead of Weavile, and then you're kind of back where you started.
True, true. But you know, it was a good match. I should have when I was facing Magnezone. Yeah, Magnezone. I was like, he didn't click an electric move the whole game, and when he clicked HP Ice, like in front of something he shouldn't have clicked HP Ice in front of, like expecting me to switch, and it worked out for him. And I looked down at my team and I was like, this is not ideal. I wasn't really like I didn't really factor in protecting myself from HP Ice in my team build. I was more concerned with trying to check and counter his tank line and trying to get through his tank line. I wasn't really uh, focused on my team weaknesses, and that's just I mean that's my fault for not
Yeah.
paying attention.
No, that'll happen, and especially when you had a lot of plans for Diggersby going in, and then when it gets when it takes 88% or something from an HPS, you're like, ooh, ugh.
Yeah. I was deciding between Scarf and Bandit Diggersby, but Scarf Diggersby would have done me better in the game, but whatever. I went with Bandit Diggersby because it did like adamant return with like max speed, outsped like low investment speed, like play score and things like that. So I opted to go for adamant band, and I two tapped basically everyone. So that was like my eyes got really big, and then I thought for sure he was gonna click like Thunderbolt or Volt Switch, but he didn't have to because like 4 of my team was weak to ice. So
Yeah, that was a problem.
which prompted me for my pickup this week. So
I'm finding that a lot of people are having trouble, and I guess this is also what prompted your pickup here. A lot of people are having trouble with the water ground types this season. Gastrodon's putting in a lot of work. Swampet's doing well for Tristan. Murphy and Quagsire are like two peas in a pod, and now you've got another, but we'll get up there. I think that only having one weakness as a defensive Pokemon, tripping all over my goddamn words. It's really valuable.
it is, and I mean, looking at his team, like I'm normally a little more thorough with my team build. I don't know what I was thinking, but like I do, and I'll ask you for like a third party opinion all the time. Like I'll give you a mon on my team and be like, who's this person's check to this mon, and try to see if I can get that right.
Right.
And like knowing that Gastrodon comes in 100% of the time to Incineroar, I'm like really like upset with myself for not bringing something to defend myself with there.
Right.
So
I was gonna say, did you run
like with just such predictable switches, like having like a 0 investment like HP grass
right
plus like a Darkest Lariat plus a HP grass on the switch in probably would have been enough to kill. So it's just upsetting that I didn't thoroughly team build as much as I have. So, but then again, that's on me. So.
and you're still top of the division, so it doesn't really matter. So
I mean, it does. I don't.
Well, yeah,
I don't
it's
enjoy losing.
Now you're
especially to good opponents too, because
right.
Like Mike is going to be the first one to tell me that all my wins were like against like nub cakes. But and so it's like nice to try to get some wins against some actual opponents every now and then.
And now you're a step behind. And now you're a step behind on the 1 seed too. So maybe you want that going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I don't. As long as I don't finish 3 or 4, I'm fine. I don't care because I just really don't want to play James first round.
No, yeah, because you got to see several times now at this point what James is capable of, and it's not pretty.
Right, and it's like everyone else is kind of just the same, I guess, like threat level to me. So like I don't like if I end up playing one person over another, doesn't really bother me. So I just don't want to play James round 1, so I can't fall out of the top 2 is the problem.
Moving on here, we've got Mario getting the +2 over M1, where this was going in a direction that I thought M1 was going to win this one, and I did some calcs afterwards too, where it wasn't with the severity of like it's right in front of you that Mitch threw his game away, but at the end here, you got Haxorus. Haxorus has Dragon Dance up. It's a menace. Almost nothing is going to stop it. You lose Weezing turn 1 to a Psychic from Porygon 2, which was a legitimate surprise. And I'm happy that it happened, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh, cool, I like those moves. But Lopunny comes in and hits it, I think, twice with Fake Out, and he's still got Serena in the back, and Serena is not going to help with the rest of the team. I think it was
No.
just Haxorus and Mamoswine at that point, which Mario told me Mamo was scarfed anyway, so Serena was not going to help there either. So there was no reason that M1 couldn't have just thrown in Serena, had it die to Outrage, hit another potential Fake Out, because I think the Fake Outs were doing about 26% damage, so it was probably a roll, but one worth taking, where if you kill Haxorus with that Fake Out, and Lopunny's at like 80% health or something, like looking at the calcs, Mamoswine wasn't going to Oko Lopunny, and he could have Oko'd with like return or high jump kick, I think, at that point. So it was there, it was possible, but I don't know what his thinking was in that. There were other like mistakes in that match too, but it's always disheartening to see like the match is right there and then it just kind of slips away.
Yeah, I mean, that's a threatening position to be in, behind, like, in front of a setup Haxorus. Like, that's not a position anyone wants to be in.
No, not at all.
But I mean, with Lopunny, like, I don't think I've ever ran a Lopunny set where I didn't have quick attack.
That's also, that could have actually helped clean up if he ran the Fake Out and then quick attack, because even if the Fake Out didn't kill, he could have got rid of it with quick attack.
Yeah, and like Lopunny is so fast that, like, when I had Lopunny, I ran mostly adamant sets, and I ran like fake speed, and I would just click Fake Out quick attack, and if you're adamant on Lopunny, that's like 70 to 80% on most mons.
On a lot of mons, yeah, especially like fast papery ones.
Exactly, like that Fake Out quick attack, that's gonna do a butt ton. So
it's too bad there. It is nice though seeing Haxorus cleaning up, just like doing work.
I love Haxorus.
He's gonna earn that 120 point spot someday, maybe.
Yeah, one day we're gonna be foolish enough to be like, yes, we're moving him up, and we're all gonna cry.
And nobody will take him.
No one.
He's a stalwart. He's the face of the tier 3 Pokemon.
Seriously, we can't move him now, dude.
Next up, we've got Sneaky getting the +3 over Dan. This was another match, like in your match, Manny, where a read with HP Ice turned the tide so completely, and I love the way that it was set up, where you've got Zebstrika in there, and he tries Volt Switching out against, I believe, Crobat, so of course Garchomp has to come in, because it's Garchomp. And so that scenario shows itself later in the match, and rather than... Mitch comes to mind. No offense to Mitch. Don't want to continue like harping on him or anything. But the one match where he just kept like clicking things where there were immunities involved, or like it was doing like 10% damage. Like when you know that there are better options available, and Sneaky didn't stay in there. He just HP Ice and we're good.
Yeah.
Garchomp's gone.
And he's gone. Yeah, dude. It was a solid play.
I gotta say,
solid heads up play.
I gotta say too, Bulky Crobat in this one was really like I like Golbat a lot on my team here, but I'm not really envious. But I'm looking at Crobat and like the things that it does sometimes, and I just think, man, if only Golbat were that fast, you know?
Crobat is deceptively bulky. He his sets on like his generic sets on ladder are all like Black Sludge, max HP, like Roost. Things like that. He's very, very bulky.
Yeah, because he can just U-turn out whenever there's a threat that doesn't end. And he's like, what, 125? 120 or something like that? So it's only like Mega Manectric and Electro that are getting the better of him speed-wise, so he could just get out of there most of the time.
Yeah. Quick U-turns.
That was definitely a good win for Sneaky, too. Finally, we got here Murphy getting the +3 over Thomas. Thomas still fucking tanking his season here. What is going on with the acid spray plays in this match?
Dude, I don't know.
Is this new meta?
Hilarious. No, it's something I've ever seen. But I mean, that's like hilarious. It's like 100% to lower special defense.
When you've got a 100% to cut special defense in half, you gotta take that, because
go for it, man. And I don't think Thomas was expecting it. I mean, no one really expected it.
No, that's the thing. It was fucking crazy. And then I do like though that Quagsire, even with this, couldn't kill Salamence with an Ice Beam.
No, Quaggy sucks. Quaggy, he's shaped like a punching bag because he is a punching bag. He doesn't actually return any of the blows.
You can hit those earthquakes and do decent damage super effectively, but yeah, if you need to hit non-stab stuff, you're kind of SOL. Not only that, the match itself had 2 Scald Burns in it, Glare from Druddigan, which I think is a great play. I love Glare, 100% accurate paralysis.
Love Glare.
Fucking why not?
Yes.
Thomas's team was absolutely crippled in there, and Thomas also did weird shit like hitting Flamethrower on Salamence twice when I don't believe that like Rotom was gone, so Flamethrower was not going to hit anything more than neutrally. I don't know why he did it, but he was doing it.
I got nothing either, man.
Let's take a look at the Conference Cup really quick before we get into trades and pickups. Manny, this is unprecedented right now. Platinum has not lost a Conference Cup game yet. They have they have shut out Yellow. They have shut out Crystal.
They are the Conference Cup boys. All right, just give them their figurines and let's be done with it.
I'll give them their due. It's one of those things where I mean I feel like
they balled out.
They did, and they have been, and I'm scared now because now I feel like that might happen to my division too. And then the fact that I lost puts me in a really awkward position in terms of playoffs because literally everyone in the running for playoffs on my side won except for me. So
yikes.
This does not look good for Homestar Runner right now.
No. Oh boy.
Other than that, Emerald's now sitting at 7, which is not good. Yellow has 2, I believe. Maybe 4, I think, from the Rob win or something. I don't remember. I'm not looking at it directly right now. And Crystal's still in second, though, with 8. Hey, you're only 12.
Yeah, let's go, boys.
Only 12 behind.
I hate my life.
Let's get into some trades and pickups really quick here.
All right, let's go.
James made some interesting plays here. I was very scared of Suicune in our match. James apparently hates Suicune, which it would have been nice to... I don't know him!
It's very generic, but it's one of those mons where you're just like, what you gonna do about it?
If you bring the generic set, it's tough to get around, so...
Yeah, like, they're all, like, the 3 dogs are all like that. Like, they're just like, yeah, so what, come at me. Like, 0 prep, just throw it in. Like, dropping
it down for Pyukumuku, who I fucking hate Pyukumuku.
I hate that thing too.
Like
annoying.
The best thing you're gonna get out of it is fucking double screens. Like on a good day, maybe Soak plays like kind of. It doesn't get like Mirror Coat, so it's not even a good Wobbuffet. You just bring in a special attacker against it and start fucking boosting. Like I feel like he could have done better, but I mean he has used Water Savali before. He does have Greninja. He's got water Pokemon, so maybe Pyukumuku was just to make room for his big move, which was Espeon for Mega Charizard X, which that's a little scary.
It is. I don't understand it though, because he likes the fast trick room, and then but I don't know. Maybe he felt like he needed some setup. He's
got guard for that too, and Gourgeist, so he doesn't really need.
Yeah, maybe it was like double time with guard. You know, I mean, Mega Charizard X is like he's a monster, so definitely an upgrade.
Now, did that factor into your change at all here, switching out Gligger for the old Seismitoad?
No. I just wanted to spread out my 4-type weaknesses a little more. I wanted to keep a rocker, so I decided to grab Seismitoad.
Seismitoad get rocks?
Yes.
Okay. No, you know what the problem is with Seismitoad? It doesn't get a physical water move, which I don't like at all.
No, it's fine.
Not even Waterfall. The fuck?
He's a Scald bot.
All right. Well, I think, though, before we... Wait, what is that? Is that my phone ringing that you can't hear because this is going to be recorded later? What? Oh.
What?
Oh.
Who's that?
Oh, wait. I think it's Mike, and I think he's angry about something. So we're going to check in on him, and I'm sorry you won't be able to be here for it, Manny, because we're recording it later.
Fair enough.
Mike, I hear you there. Mike.
Oh, my God. Joe! Why? Most of this week, like, maybe half the battles were great. But there's just, like, a hand where I'm so mad. You know, as per usual. One is actually being myself, but we'll get into that later. First and foremost, I gotta start with the family hatred. Thomas. Why? You knew Mega Gallade was coming. There was a play where you switched Sableye into the knockoff instead of getting the clean switch. I don't claim Trevor did. Almost. We're getting there. And everybody said I made Infernape look bad, including you. You said yourself, Mike can't use Infernape, and here you have it, and it's just shit for you. But we all know that Thomas just took advantage of our tier list is really what happened that season he won. Besides that, he's petering out a little bit. Moving right along, Mitch, oh my god, you could have +5'd that game over, I want to say it was Gage? Think it was Gage? The moment Electivire had that motor drive, I went, oh fuck. And then maybe you didn't know because you're not knowledgeable that Mega Alakazam gets Trace. So you were like, yeah, I'm a Slam Wild Charge and nothing wants this, which I understand. But Trace is a real thing, and the screen literally says Trace went off. Alakazam traced motor drive. And then you give that thing the speed. At that point in time, EQ was 110% roll. Megazam was gone, and you could have just rolled through his whole team with Electivire. That mon is terrifying. So I'm going to chalk it up to maybe you not knowing what you're doing, but from that point on, that match was a shit show. All you had to do was hit Shadow Sneak. That's it. It's not hard. Shadow Sneak's so good. Mimikyu is retarded. You're so bad. Gage, you got anything that could have went right for you did. Between all the poison jab poisons you got off, between you playing Mitch, I mean, that's the most right thing that could have happened for you. Oh, God. Just awful. Just awful. So bad. Rob, buddy, I gotta know, do you just not care anymore? Is that what's going on with you? You're just done? Because you're not doing too hot over there, man. You got, 4 people in a 10-minute radius of you who are more than happy to go, yeah, this looks like a good idea in this match. Why don't you try this, Rob? And instead you make your team on your phone 10 minutes before the match and then aren't a happy boy when you lose. You're the opposite of a happy boy. But, your matches used to be at least kind of good, and now they're just train wrecks. Where are you going, dude? And obviously, I have to save me for last. I'm mad at myself because there was a point in time where Scizor was in and he switched into Snorlax, and normally my attitude is, I'm just going to Swords Dance here because he can't do anything back. And if I Swords Dance a 7 or 8 turns earlier, that match would have been a clean +4, I believe is what I had at that point, because nothing was stopping those bullet punches. But it's okay. I got the W. It was nerve-wracking. I can't believe I finally beat Tristan. Good fucking game. Just mad at myself for playing really bad. Oh, I didn't save the best for last. The best for last is James. And I'm not mad at the match between James and Joe. I'm just mad at James. His team is fucking stupid. The volley is the best momentum stopper ever. Just literally, I'm going to slot in a type that my opponent's biggest threat can't do anything to. And then I'm going to hit Icy Wind and Parting Shot and cripple it. And then I'm going to hit Explosion and delete it. James' whole team, and now he has fucking Pyukumuku. Guys, anybody fighting James, just know his whole team stops momentum. So it's really weird for me to say this, but don't build momentum against James. Try and keep it on an even pace. Because if you do, he's just going to shut you down and 1-for-1 your Mon, and those turns where you just took chip damage, you're going to be useless. Anytime you get a Sword Stance off, anything, James is better than all of us, and I feel that's because none of us try and run Protect against James, we all run crazy things, where most of the time, if we ran Protect, it might actually save our asses. He also picked up Charizard, Megazard X, so I hope you guys are all ready for that. See, I might actually be most mad at James because of how fucking bullshit he... Not because of his match, just because he's James. Everybody else did well. I mean, we all know that Manus can't perform under pressure, and Kyle is a lot of pressure.
You know what's
so
weird?
That wasn't too much of a surprise.
You know what's weird, Mike, is the fact that Manny did say in the recording of the podcast that Mike was going to say something because he's going to say that all of my wins are bullshit.
I'm not calling them bullshit. I'm just... At least it was a close match. Manus doesn't get, blown out most of the time. He has those matches where he does, but he stayed close, but he always gets, the carrots in front of him.
Thank you for your rage, Mike. So, Manny, getting into commish picks. Let's talk about week 7 here. You and I both went 4-4. James's choices went 2-6. So good for him. The Conference Cup weeks are always tough because of the pluses. Like you didn't get Mike plus, or no, I'm sorry, James didn't get Mike +3. You had Garrison. You had Garrison +4. You also had James +3, so that ended up being a lot closer. But as far as the entire season, I'm 26-22. You're 27-21, and Thomas / the guest pickers are 16-32. So,
Yikes! That's why we're the professionals, Joe.
That's why we're the professionals. We got Mario coming in, guest picking this week here. Let's get right into it. First off, we got Tristan versus Thomas. Thomas's season is lost. It's Tristan. Tristan's winning this one.
Sweep it. Give me Tristan.
Mario's got Tristan too. This is, spoiler alert, it's sweeps week, where I think the only time that we're not all on the same page is one match.
Twice.
Oh, twice?
Two
Okay.
matches.
Okay. Next up, we got James taking on Garrison here. I think Garrison will give James a bit of a run for his money, but James is James, so I got James.
Sweep it. James again.
Swept! Sweep it up. Manny versus Mitch. I've got Manny +4.
I got myself, wait for it, +6.
Oh my god.
I'm calling my shot. I'm pointing to the fence.
All he needs to do is put D-Bon. I don't know if he has anything with D-Bon, but that's all he needs to do. To slow you down, at least. Or to ruin that pick. Mario's got you as well, of course. Next up, we got M1 versus Dan. I've got M1 here because, I mean, I feel like Dan might be able to pull out a win here, but I gotta have faith in my boy M1.
I am going to go with Dan. I'm going to go with, Dan really surprised me this season, especially in our battles together, so I'm going to go with Dan.
That works. Mario's got M1 as well. And, here's the other one where we differed. Mike versus Murphy. I gotta go with Mike, only because I need to be hopeful to kind of start climbing back up, and I know I can beat Mike week 10, so there we go.
Oh, the shade. I'm going with Murphy. Mike always just seems to Mike's looking good, and whenever Mike looks good, there's always the inevitable drop. So,
damn,
Murphy.
Body of work. And Mario has Mike as well. Next up, we got me versus Rob. I gotta take me.
Yep. Taking you too.
Mario's got me +2.
Oh, that's a low plus. That's offensive.
Hey,
God, that's so offensive.
Hey, it was +1 last time because I forgot how mind blown worked. So that's the other thing. This could be a close match. I could fuck this one up, definitely, but I don't want to. Next up, we got Kyle taking on Gage. The last match was surprising, Gage pulling that one out. But I think, again, body of work, I gotta go with Kyle.
Yep, Kyle.
Sweeping it there.
Sweep it.
Finally, we got Sneaky versus Mario, where even Mario is really bad at picking himself in these commish picks. I don't think he's done it yet. So, I got Sneaky.
Yeah, I'm going with Sneaky too.
He's got a team that is very tough to play around, I think.
Yeah, his team's really good. It's well made.
And
so credit to you, Joe.
Spoilers.
Oops.
So sweep there, Sneaky getting the win there, and well, I say locking up the division. You never know because Kyle's always going to be hot on his heels. So as we go into week 8 here, 3 weeks of play left. Everything is, at least on my side, so close that I'm a little grossed out by it. I'm the fucking tied for the 6th seed. I'm basically the 7th seed because I've lost my Conference Cup matches. So, Manny, as we go into week 8 here, where there's going to be a little bit more, there's people within the divisions trading blows. Could this be the most important week of the season?
Joe, we are nearing the final stretch. This is it, boys. This is it. Okay, now is the time to crawl into playoffs. Okay, just remember Tristan last year. He crawled his way into playoffs, and then he went all the way to the finals, where he never got pooped on by his brother. Okay, you could get pooped on by Kyle too. You just got to make the playoffs.
Now keep in mind as well, this is the last week for trades and pickups, so there could be some big movers and shakers this week too. This has got to be the most important week of the season.
Joe, I think you're right.
And with that, it is time to close the book on this episode of Inside the PFL. I think then it is a goodbye from me, Joe.
Peace, guys. Good luck.
Everybody out there, in your battles,